Minasan, konnichiwa, Litze desu. And today I've got quite an interesting video and I had to think quite a lot about this one. Sometimes, like when you learn a language and when you speak to people, they'll ask you like, oh, what's your favorite word? And I've always thought like, I don't actually have a favorite word in English or Japanese, like I don't really have a favorite word. But then I really thought about it and I guess you could say I have a few that I really like. だから今日は僕が気に入った日本語を言います or Japanese I like. I have a few and I'm going to tell you like why I like them and some of them I like them because of a certain story and I'll tell you about that too. Anyways, before we start the video, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel and everybody who's followed my social media, listening to my music, supporting me and always just leaving likes and comments. Like I really appreciate that. Like it's such a nice thing to do something and see people that are actually enjoying it. Like it does make me so happy. Alright then, let's get into my favorite Japanese. First up on the list, and this list isn't in any order, but the first one I want to talk about is sugiru. なんかsugiruがすごい気に入ってる。なんか何でも使える。なんかすごい便利な言葉で、なんか本当いつでも使える。例えばなんか美味しすぎる、高すぎる、うますぎる、良すぎる、楽しすぎる、考えすぎる。And actually, when I speak to a lot of people about like this word and people who are learning English, they tend to think that too much has like a bad meaning, and the best translation for sugiru in English is too much. But too much is kind of used mainly in negative like context. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people do have like a negative image of this word because too much of something usually isn't good. But in Japanese, it's used more like, I would think of it as like really or like super, like oh this is super tasty or this is really tasty or this is really fun. So it's a really easy word and I think it's so easy to express. So I really like it. Alright, on to the next one. And the next one is not really a word, it's more of a phrase. And that is kuki o yomu. The direct translation is to read the air. 面白くないけど意味が違うじゃん。The meaning is more like to feel the atmosphere. Like imagine if you're talking to someone and they're not very happy, you're not going to be all like energetic and be like, oh yeah, let's do this. Like you need to read the atmosphere and say, okay, this person's not feeling that great today. Maybe I should just tone it down a bit. And you can also use it to describe people. Like that person can't read the air. Like that person kuki o yomenai. Which is kind of negative, but when I think of the same thing I would say in English, it seems a lot more negative. Because there are people that genuinely can't do that kind of thing, that can't sympathize or empathize with people. And I don't know, like, I don't think that's necessarily always a bad thing because they're not doing it intentionally. Whereas if we said in English, like, that person has no sympathy, or that person has no empathy, or that person's a bit, you know, it would just sound bad. だから、ちょっとネガティブなフレーズだけど、英語より全然いい。まあ僕が思う。この次の言葉はちょっと失礼だけど、自分のストーリーあるから好きになった。最初日本語勉強した時に、一人で勉強したから授業とか行ってなくて、普通に映画とか、アニメとかテレビとか見て頑張って真似してた。それでこの言葉を聞いてて真似した。あとググったら意味だけチェックしたから英語で意味失礼じゃないからなんか大丈夫だねって思った。その言葉はどけ。And in English, when I checked it, it just came up as move. So I didn't think it was bad, but it's more like get out my way. So I would say like to my friends and like the people around me, like Japanese people, I would be like どけ。もちろん友達みんな笑って普通に教えてくれたけど、多分なんだこいつ絶対思ったけど本当僕がどう言ってたと思った。どう言ってと同じどう言ってくださいみたいな全然失礼だと思ってなかった。もちろん今も使わないけど。なんかそれで結構考えると笑っちゃうから好きになった。Alright, on to the next one. And the next one is a phrase that you really can't explain in English, and that is やばい. I've probably talked about this word before, but やばい can have so many different meanings. For example, if I'm eating something really nice and I think it's really tasty, これやばい. Or if I hear a story about someone who's done something really bad, やばい. When you're in a conversation and someone's asking your opinion on a certain topic, they could say やばくない? And then you can get that word I talked about earlier, sugiru, and put it with it and say やばすぎ. So what I'm trying to express is it's like a really flexible word and you can use it in so many different like contexts. Of course, if you look up on Google what the meaning is, it's going to tell you that it can mean all these different things. But the way I picture it is it's kind of like saying, oh my god, like that's mad or that's crazy. Just think about it, like if you're eating something really nice, you'd be like, oh that's mad. And in a conversation when someone wants to get your opinion on something a bit crazy, they'd be like, that's mad, right? And then you can come in with the response that everyone uses when they're not interested and be like, yeah, that's mad, bro. Saying that, I actually use that phrase when I'm interested too, so it's just really hard to tell. You have to like tell by the energy. But that's my translation for that word. I think it is, for me, the most accurate translation. It's like mad or crazy because it can be used in both a bad sense and a good sense. And I just really like the word, like it's so easy to use and I probably use it too much, but it's good, so why not? The next one is also, it could be a good word, it can kind of be a bad word. Depends how you want to take it, but we definitely don't have one word for it in English. 言葉がしょうがない。なんかしょうがないがよく使えるよね。And しょうがない the best translation you can have in English is it can't be helped. So something that can't be helped. Like for example, if you go outside in a t-shirt and shorts and all of a sudden it starts raining, you're going to be angry, but しょうがない. You can't do anything about it. So in a way, you could say it's quite bad because if you use it too much, it kind of makes you feel like you're helpless in situations. But then again, you can use it to brush things off. So instead of being too serious about stuff, you can just say しょうがない and get on with it. And I like it in that sense. Like if you're planning to meet friends and go out and the weather turns really bad, you can say しょうがない, let's just do it anyway. So I think it kind of shows a bit of like resilience, and I don't know, I really like it. Although I do know in the other context, there are quite a few people that don't like it because it does kind of mean like, しょうがない, like you can't do anything, just get on with it, just forget about stuff and don't do things that sometimes need to be done. But either way, it is a word we don't have in English and it is quite a useful word. But enough of the standard words, let's get on to like onomatopoeia. So in Japan, I've noticed you can express a lot of things by just saying the same thing twice. Of course, it doesn't work in every context and you have to know the word. But there are quite a few expressions that are just making the same noise like twice, and Japanese people do use it a lot. I don't really use it because I always forget the meanings. But like when I hear it, I'm always like, oh, which one is that? What does that mean? And I'll give you some examples. なんか本当に多すぎて、話してる時誰がこういうの使ったら意味なんだっけなる。もちろん言ったらああわかるわってなるけど、会話してる時考える時間ないじゃん。だからよくわかんなくなる。どれがどれみたいな。例えばウキウキ。Just saying ウキ twice, ウキウキ means excited. And remember, with these words, there's no direct translation, so I'm trying my best. あと、例えば、買い物とか行って、なんか何も買いたくない、歩いてるだけ、うろうろ, which kind of means like to wander, like just wandering with no purpose. So somebody asks you, like, what are you doing? 何してんの? あ、うろうろしてる。例えば、雨がすごい降ってて、めっちゃ服全部、濡いたら、びちゃびちゃ, which expresses like being really wet. Like imagine if you're out in the rain, you come in, you're soaked. You can say, oh, like びちゃびちゃ. Like, I'm bicha bicha. And then if something's like kind of like sticky or like for example if you sweat a lot, you can say beta beta. あとすごい人気多分結構外国人でも知ってる人多いと思うけど、例えばすごい楽しみとかちょっと緊張してるとか if you're like excited and nervous and like looking forward to something, you can say doki doki, which is the sound, the onomatopoeia for your heart beating. So doki doki, doki doki. That one's really popular like among people that learn Japanese, and it was quite early that I learned that word. けどあんまり使ったことない。あとはなんかちょっとこれはちょっとネガティブな意味もあるんだけど、なんか悩んでる時とか考えてる時なんかもやもや like when you're indecisive and you're wondering about something, you can say もやもや。これ全部オノマトピアかわかんないけど、これが結構好き、日本語で。あと日本語勉強してるならこれで結構気持ち伝えると思います。あと覚えやすい、簡単だから覚えやすい。 Easy to remember, but I'm sure you will get them mixed up because there's so many that look the same, like bicha bicha beta beta, like this. It is difficult to remember like which one's which, but they are easy to remember as a whole, and they will definitely help with like getting your feelings across. I just think they're so expressive and I really like these kind of words. There's so many more as well, so please check them out. I'm sure if you look online about Japanese like onomatopoeia or something like that, they should come up. So yeah, that was a short list of some Japanese I really like. なんかちょっと変わったリストかもしれないけど、みんな好きだといいね。これがなんか僕が結構気に入ってる日本語。But yeah, I really enjoyed making this video and I had to think about it quite a bit. What's your favorite Japanese? Even if you're Japanese or you're non-Japanese, what Japanese do you like? Comment below. Alright then guys, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm always trying to make new interesting content and I try my best. I really hope you'll find some videos you like and I hope to see you again soon. Alright then guys, until next time. Bye. またね.
Never gonna cope without my faith. I'm never gonna show happiness so late. And with you by my side, yeah, I feel so safe. And baby, for your life, you can count on me. So always come